तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and we are in the midst of Master Mahashaya's third visit. And that third visit took place at what time? Afternoon, Sunday afternoon. And we have the topic in this third visit is there is variety of human beings. All men are not equal. And the variety in general and in particular reference to spiritual life. That is the topic. And then question was raised, if the bad people come to injure us or actually injure us, what should we do? And Thakur told that you have to hiss and make them afraid. They will keep away from you. But you should never injure others. This topic was ended. And before that, in general, when elephant and dogs, etc. were compared, Narendranath was asked and Narendra said, I will treat them as dogs. And Thakur said no. And he explained the main point, unity in diversity. And that unity is that God is present in all. This you should never forget. But God is present in water. And we use water for different purposes. And he had already told a story that tiger is Narayan, but we do not embrace him. And Hathi, elephant is Narayan, but the mouth also is a Narayan. And if elephant you take as Narayan and do not go away from him, elephant will behave like elephant, but the mouth is telling you to get away. Mouth Narayan is telling you to get away, and why you do not get away? Why do you not listen to him? And from this we had understood that there are absolute values in life is to realize that God dwells in all beings. Until then we have to follow relative values. And the relative values, in the name of relative values, are practicality. We should not go away from the ideal. And so the relative values are to be based upon the absolute values. This we had learned in that story. And then that snake story that you should hiss. Now we continue the topic. In this creation of God, there is a variety of things. First, variety outside, variety of things. That itself is a variety. God has created all does not mean God is same in all, does not mean that all are same. Men, animals, trees, plants. So, this has been told in the downward gradation of like principle. Men, animals, trees and plants. Among the animals, some are good, some bad, from man's point of view, or in themselves also. There are ferocious animals like the tiger. This has been repeated because tiger was already told. Some trees bear fruit sweet as nectar, and others bear fruit that is poisonous. So that also extreme opposite in variety, but all are God's creation. Likewise, so tree is an example. Likewise, among human beings, there are the good and the wicked, the holy and the unholy. Good and wicked, general. Holy and the unholy, spiritual life. There are some who are devoted to God and others who are attached to the world. So unholy means attached to the world. This is a clear-cut distinction. Some are devoted to God, some are not. That is now at Thakur. Some are devoted to God, some are attached to the world. So we understand very clearly, those who are not devoted to God, they may appear to be good people, but they are attached to the world. And those who are again not attached to God may appear to undergo rituals and so many things, but they are attached to the world. Now, this much has been told. Now, in relation to spiritual life, Thakur will make 4 categories, and that is very important. Men may be divided into 4 classes. Those bound by the fetters of the world, here down to up is going. Those bound by the fetters of the world, the seekers after liberation, the liberated, and the ever free. So seekers after liberation will include sadhakas, strugglers, and then free, and then ever free. So this is a special class. Now funny thing is, while dividing into 4 categories, Thakur has gone from the lowest to the highest. But while describing, he first describes the ever free. And not that he changes the order of description. He comes back again from the lower to the higher. So you must note these small things, important. So he first sets up the ideal man. And in comparison of him, we can think of lower and higher. So that is very important. Though he has told as the last, ever free, but in describing, he sets up that ever free first. So that is the ideal of life. And then in that comparison, we can understand these 3. Among the ever free, we may count sages like Narada. A well-known example is taken. Sages pastage उल्टे गलो से ठीक इन्हें उल्टे गलो मार्क रखती निकला कोথায় চলে গেল No, that is in English. Bengali Jamun Naradadi. That's so I will not comment on that. Well, now the example he has given. Now here, some comment may be required. Because this fellow Narad, to generality of people, they do not know Narada as evergreen. In Marathi, the expression is Kalita Narad. Kali Yuger Narad. Means, that is not the meaning, Narad who creates quarrels. And there are so many examples of that. But we shall find that there also his ultimate goal was the evolution of man. He created quarrel between Rukmini and Satyabhama. Because Satyabhama was being carried away by her ego of good family and all that, and supposed beauty. And so he created a quarrel to make her understand that Rukmini is superior. So like that, so many examples we'll get of his creating quarrel. But let us forget that Narada. There is another Narada. Another means Narada in different situation, in different description. The Guru of Prahlad and Dhruva. So that is a Narada. So now Thakur tells what Narada he wants. Among the ever free, we may count sages like Narada. They live in the world for the good of others. And what is the good of others? To teach men spiritual truth. That is the good of others. So here we find that good of the world means spiritual truth. And Narada lives in the world, he is free. But he lives in the world for this purpose. That is his life, that is the mission in life. Those in bondage are sunk in worldliness and forgetful of God. So extremely lower category he will describe now. Sunk in the world and forgetful of God. That forgetfulness he describes, not even by mistake do they think of God. When thinking of so many things, let us think of God also. That also they do not do. So opposite is describing. And you may count generality or maximum people under this category. They may appear in different ways, but they are of this category. The seekers after liberation want to free themselves from attachment to the world. So here also we are getting some principle. We say we have to become free. And generally this is meant to taken to mean will not be born again. Some of these ideas never appealed to me. But here, what is the bondage one must understand? Attachment to the world, that is the bondage. So they are also attached to the world, but they want to be free from that attachment. So the Gita and other Shastras describe that among thousands of men, some people struggle for perfection. Thousands. So they are a very small minority. But Thakur is mainly dealing with them only. And so, understood? Liberation want to free themselves from attachment to the world. Some of them succeed and others do not. This is also according to Gita. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschid mam vetyutatata. Yatatam api siddhanam. They gain some perfection of character, but they do not get me. Now here the question arises. Is it a chance or luck or is God partial? Why it happens so? 1 in 1,000 we understand, thousands, because that is the evolution of man. But when he is a struggler, why does he not get God? And why some get God? What is the answer? Important point.
They will get in next lives, or they will get in next lives. They're in the steps slowly after some time. Or they are not.
They are guided by Shastra and Guru. That is the only difference. If you do not have proper guidance, you may want to become free, but you do not know the way. And you struggle and remain where you are. We see this also, again, percentage-wise or whatever-wise, they are very less. There are many people we find struggling comparatively. But they go up and they come down. So the main difference here one must understand is there are Shastras. There are certain principles and there are teachers who are qualified to teach you. And that is why this ever-free were put already. So if you are guided properly, you reach. If you don't find the way, then how will you reach? So that is the difference. Otherwise, it will appear like a fluke, a chance. Getting God is a chance. Or from other side, we'll say God is partial. God is not partial. But if you follow the guidance, you will reach. If you do not follow the guidance, how will you reach? You do not know the way. Dandramya mana pariyanti muda. The liberated souls, such as the sadhus and mahatmas, even sadhu mahatma. Now, what is a mahatma here? It is used as a technical term. Otherwise, mahatma means broad-hearted people. But here, Vedantic sannyasis or regular sannyasis are called sadhus. And they are not sannyasis. They might be householders. But they are mahatmas. That means evolved people. So sadhu mahatma means either sannyasis or evolved people.
This we also found in Upadesha Shastri, Mahatma.
No, Thakur's disciple Balram Babu, Nagmasha, they were not sadhus. By examples you understand things. Huh? The liberated souls, such as the sadhus and mahatmas, are not entangled in the world. Now he defines what is this world. In woman and God. So a lot of discussion why Thakur has said woman, and then explanations from the mission, big explanations. He means Kam, he does not mean Kamini, and so many discussions. But understand it from the Vedantic point of view, it is very easy to understand. And this is being taught to men, that is clear. If you talk to women, you will not say Kamini. And the word is Kamini. In Sanskrit, every word has a particular denotation. Kamini is actually not any woman. No. Kamini. One who is embodiment of lust. That is Kamini. Made of Kama. So they say the English better translation will be lust and gold. It will include both the men and women. But what is this lust and gold? So in the Upanishads it is very properly described. They say that man has three desires. And the first of them is described in two ways. Dhareshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. And sometimes Putreshana, Vitteshana, Lokeshana. So wife is required for a son. And he wants son means he wants wife. And then he says, the Upanishads tell us, these three can be thought of in two only. Sadeshana, Sadhaneshana. Means the desire for enjoyment. Now this enjoyment is of two types. Lust. Lust represents all the enjoyments in this world. One must understand this psychologically. Man wants to enjoy. Actually, according to Mandukya Upanishad, in 19 ways. He wants food for his Pancha Gyanendriyas. He wants food for his Pancha Karmendriyas. That is also great enjoyment. There are people, you may not give them food or anything, but don't stop them from activity. They will die if they are not active. And then Pancha Pranavrittis. It is not only food, but blood circulation and all that. We have to feed it. And then Man Buddhi Chitta Ankar. Don't think. Thinking, will find many people, they do not know how to think. At random their mind will go, but they cannot stop thinking. And man is defined, man is defined as a thinking animal. So, then memory. Memory is a great enjoyment. Ego. When generally people talk of job satisfaction, I understand it as ego satisfaction. Ego. Enjoyment. You see some people, when they walk, they will look like this, like this. Anyway, so this is enjoyment of objects of enjoyment, whether gross or subtle. And then that is called sadheshana. And the last point of this is lust. Because in sex activity, man, woman, anybody, all the indriyas and all the personality gets involved, and that is why it is condemned again and again. In Vivekananda, for example, he says 5 animals were trapped because of their attachment to 5 senses. Elephant wants touch, so they make a hole apparently covered, and they put a she elephant on that, and as the male elephant goes and rubs its back, both they fall down. And then deer, sound, and with the help of sound they are killed. Smell, bees. So, and this fire, not firefly, the fire insects, they see that teja and they die in it. So, Shankaracharya says, man who has all the 5, how much careful he should be. So that is what happens in sex. the full personality gets drunk. So that is represented by, and for men, that is kamini. That means a figure of lust. So this is the sadhana. And then if you want to enjoy, you require money. Without wealth, you cannot get anything. This wealth again is of two types. The manusha vitta and the daiva vitta. That means for enjoyment in this world, you require the earthly wealth. And to go to heaven and all that, enjoy more, you require that mantras and this and that and knowledge of gods. So that is called daiva vitta. Now, do we not find people who become attached to money independent of attachment to enjoyment? So what has happened? The mind has gone crack. The Marwadis, please don't mind, I am using a racial name, but I do not mean that race. People, you may say, miserly people. They are known in the modern age, so many paper notes. A man dug his floor and stored there. He is not going to use them. And after some years, when they were dug out, they have found they have become dust or corrupted by moth. Now take very rich people. And we get Forbes list and all this list, richest people. What do they gain? Can they imagine more enjoyment? Take any of this figure. Take your name I forgot. Tendulkar. Now he has made a bungalow, kothi, this, that, thousands of things. And they say that for 7 generations the money is enough. And yet he goes for endorsement and this and that. Take this in India, this Adani Ambani. Previously that these names did not exist, you know. We used to say Tata Birla. No, Tata is existing, Birla has gone now. So, man becomes addicted to money itself. Some people, about corruption, they say, he ate so much money. I wonder how they can eat money. But addicted. This psychology, the Upanishads know. And they say these 3 desires can be resolved into 2, sadhana and sadhanation. And that is what Thakur is telling in the simplest of words. Kamini, Kanchan. Now, Kanchan literally means gold. Now, gold represents all the wealth. If Thakur was born in ancient ages, he would have said cows. Cows were the wealth in those days. So we must understand this expression clearly. And Thakur had no contemporary attitude about women. He has held women in, who has given so much honor to women as Thakur has given. So, Kamini means a figure of lust, and he is speaking to man, male. If he is speaking to women, he would have told differently. And it is the representative of all the enjoyment of objects by man. And gold is the representative of the wealth ordinarily required to purchase that enjoyment. But man becomes addicted to gold. So this is what world. World means what? Addicted to enjoyment. Attached to the word means addicted to enjoyment. And this enjoyment is of 2 types. Addicted to objects of enjoyment and addicted to wealth. which is ordinarily a means of enjoyment. So, it is not read like a novel. You have to understand each word. If there is a story, we read that story. The liberated souls, such as the sadhus and mahatmas, are not entangled in the world, in woman and gold. Their minds are free from worldliness. So this is worldliness. Worldliness means attachment to the world is called worldliness. Thinking everything in the terms. Besides, that is not the only side, that is the negative side. Besides, they always meditate on the lotus feet of God. Now, why the lotus has come here? To generate bhakti in the listeners. God's feet are always thought of as lotus. So instead of saying they are devoted to God, he says they are devoted to the lotus feet of God. Psychological. Their minds are free from worldliness. Besides, they always meditate on the lotus feet of God. What is here? Chinta kore, that I knew. In English, generally it has been translated as meditation. They think of, will be enough. They think of, contemplate on lotus feet of God. Okay. So 4 described. Ever free first, and there is this. Now he gives a beautiful example. And especially because he is in Bengal. So catching the fish is very common there. Suppose a net has been cast into a lake to catch fish. Some fish are so clever that they are never caught in the net. They are like they were free. But most of the fish, so here also distinction like that, they are never caught, others are caught. But most of the fish are entangled in the net. Some of them try to free themselves from it. Here, Baddhaji will be taken up later. All are bound. Some people are struggling. That means he has jumped to mumukshus. Some of them try to free themselves from it. And they are like those who seek liberation. But not all the fish that struggle succeed. A very few do jump out of the net, making a big splash in the water. That means they find the way and come out. So it is a question of finding the way. Then the fishermen shout, "Look, there goes a big one." But most of the fish caught in the net cannot escape, nor do they make any effort to get up. So cannot escape is one thing, but they don't want to make no effort to get out. On the contrary, they burrow into the mud with the net in their mouths and lie there quietly, thinking, "We need not fear anymore, we are quite safe here." This is the description of worldly people. Full description. That net, that Maya itself, they catch and they think this will give us. But the poor thing do not know. Poor means ignorant. But the poor things do not know that the fishermen will drag them out with the net. These are like the men bound to the world. Very clear delineation through this fish example. The bound souls are, now is further explaining that. The bound souls are tied to it, so he's applying that fish example now. The bound souls are tied to the world by the fetters of woman and gold. They are fetters. They are bound hand and foot, thinking that woman and gold will make them happy and give them security. So that is what common man thinks. Make them happy and give them security. Gold. They do not realize that it will lead them to annihilation. Annihilation spiritually. When a man thus bound to the world is about to die, he shows the worldliness. His wife asks, "You are about to go, but what have you done for me?" Again, such is his attachment to the things of the world that when he sees the lamp burning brightly, he says, "Dim the light, too much oil is being used." And he is on his deathbed. Here in Marathi, there is a different version. A man is about to die and he is muttering something in the lips. Keva or something. Now, people think he wants to take the name of God. Now, there is a Hiranyagarbha matra, like modern days brandy. If it is given, the life flickers more strongly for a very brief period, then he dies. So they wanted to listen what he is telling, or they wanted him to take it clearly. So they gave some Hiranyagarbha matra. And then they heard, I'm telling Marathi first, Vasru Kirsuni khata hai. Calf. There was a broomstick in the corner. And the calf is eating the broomstick and you are not mindful. So why is not Vasudev? K is not Keshav. So this is what. You are dying. Further, the bound souls never think of God. If they get any leisure, they indulge in idle gossip and foolish talk. This also we see. Or they engage in fruitless work. Some work which will not do anything. Example he gives, if you ask one of them the reason, he answers, "Oh, I cannot keep still, so I am making a hedge." Like that. That hedge is not necessary, not useful, but some activity. I will give an example, concrete example. Let me be personal. My own uncle, father's brother. Now, after retirement, he built a house. And in front of the house, on one side, he made beautiful garden. Now, his friends, retired people like him, they used to go walking every day and gossiping with each other. Now, one day they saw that he is uprooting all the plants and planting them on the other side. So they thought that some stone, some difficulty he might have got there. So they asked why you are changing. He said, "Don't you know, friend, that change is the law of nature?" So an example of fruitless work. Because he must spend his energy. He has retired now. He was known as the best teacher in the whole state. But afterwards, so that is the problem. I know another example in Chandigarh. One devotee's daughter is married, and the son-in-law asked her to change the arrangement in the house every 6 months. Change is the law of nature. No, she says, how many times I can make in this house? No, come back to that same, does not matter. But change. So, better not dwell in that. But this is, Thakur is warning all the people, though they are devotees, Now, this Thakur is separating as people. But within a man, both the tendencies may be there. No? When time hangs heavy on their hands, they perhaps start playing cards. Something. Gambling. Huh? There was deep silence in the room. So Master Maharaj has got the effect. Everybody has become introspective and afraid whether I will become like that. Yes, that is the effect. And Thakur wants this effect, so it has happened. A devotee, sir, is there no help then for such worldly person? So what happens in introspection, under such light, we think we are all that. Then what will happen to us? But Thakur is very kind, he will show the way. So in this way, he will bring people to light, like Narada Devi. Sir, is there no help then for such worldly people? Master, certainly there is. So his assurances are tremendous. From time to time, we should live in the company of holy men. Same thing which he told Master Masha on the second day. In the company of holy men, and from time to time go into solitude to meditate on God. Furthermore, he should practice discrimination and pray to God. So, those very points he has brought. Discrimination and pray to God, give me faith and devotion. So, new elements are added here. And the new element added is faith and devotion. Okay? Because devotion has been flowing all through. So, faith is the new element. There he had asked whether you believe in Sakar or Nirakar. And when he said, I like, he said, faith in one is good. So that faith has come back now. In Bengali, this is a subtopic with the heading faith. And then in Bengali, some sentences which Thakur must have emphasized are printed in the, thick letters. So, next sentence. Furthermore, we have seen that practice. Once a person has faith, he has achieved everything. So, he is giving most important thing to faith now. If you have faith, you have achieved everything. Because that faith will make you work. There is nothing greater than faith. And now to Kedar. If you know Kedar, or when you further read Gospel, you will know Kedar. His whole life was based on faith. And that is why Thakur has brought this word, to assure. And Kedar thing will become firm. To Kedar. You must have heard about the tremendous power of faith. That is why he is practicing that faith already. It is said in the Purana that Rama, very funny example he gives, Rama, who was God himself, the embodiment of absolute Brahman, that is Avatar, an embodiment of Nirguna Brahman, Purna Brahman, had to build a bridge to cross the sea to Shiloh. That translated as Shiloh. Now the name has changed. This is one changing. Now it is called Sri Lanka. Because originally it was Lanka only. Ceylon, the English people had made it. It is an upper branch from Simvalis.
But Ceylon is also similar to Sri Lanka.
Huh?
Sri Lanka, Ceylon, similar. It may also be similar.
No. It has been Indianized or taken back to the old name. There is some basic difference. You see, Simval is a dweep. You know the history little? You see, it is next to Tamil Nadu. So these Tamilians had settled there. Now, there was a naughty prince in Bengal, and he with his followers went there. And the king was very much impressed. He married his daughter, and then he killed that king and became king. Now, they are from Simval Dweep. Or they called Lanka Singal. Vijay Singh. Singal has come from Singh. So some prince with name ending as Singh. So from that, Lanka itself is called Singal. And they were Buddhist. And this modern day Buddhist. So now it is again called Sri Lanka. Okay. Huh? So here Ceylon. Rama was God himself, the embodiment of absolute Brahman, had to build a bridge to cross the sea to Ceylon. But Hanuman, trusting his Rama's name, cleared the sea in one jump and reached the other side. He had no need of a bridge. That means Hanuman is superior to Rama. No, Hanuman has faith in Rama's name. So, faith is superior. That is the example. All laugh. Actually, the idea is very different. Hanuman had that power from his birth. All the monkeys jumped. I can jump yojanas, 100 yojanas. So I can jump 40 yojanas, I can jump 50 yojanas, I can jump 60 yojanas. Hanuman only knew how to jump 100 yojanas. And he had forgotten that. He was sitting Murus. Then the Jamwan reminded him. Anyway, so that is the story. Now, another story. Once a man was about to cross the sea. Vibhishana wrote Rama's name on a leaf. You know Vibhishana?
Ravan's brother.
No, that is all right. But he is ruling Lanka eternally.
Chiranjeev.
Not only Chiranjeev, but eternally he is ruling Lanka. Rama has given that kingdom to him. Once a man was about to cross the sea, Vibhishana wrote Rama's name on a leaf, tied it in a corner of the man's wearing cloth, and said to him, "Don't be afraid, have faith and walk on the water. But look here, the moment you lose faith, you will be drowned." Now, this is very true in spiritual life. You lose your faith, then you are gone. The man was walking easily on the water. Suddenly, he had an intense desire to see what was tied in his cloth. He opened it and found only a leaf with the name of Rama written on it. What is this, he thought? Just the name of Rama. As soon as doubt entered his mind, he sank under the water. Who has gone to sea and all that? That is the story. Thakur impresses a man by story. More than any logic. If a man has faith in God, then even if he has, now the strength of faith is very described. If a man has faith in God, then even if he has committed the most heinous sins, such as killing a cow, remember we are Hindus, so this expression comes. A Brahmin is the repository of religion, so to killing a Brahmin. Or a woman. It is not only woman. Killing a woman is more sin than killing a man. Okay, original Bengali says Triyatta. In some other places, Bhrunatya. Anyway. He will certainly be saved through his faith. Let him only say to God, "Oh Lord, I will not repeat such an action." That is the main thing. Not that he will go on doing it. I will not repeat such action. And he need not be afraid of anything. Thakur's assurance, because many among them might have been people who have committed something. But I will not commit again. When he had said this, the master sang. So to impress, the song comes out. If only I can pass away repeating Durga's name, how canst thou then, O blessed one, withhold from me deliverance? Deliverance is freedom, to Durga. Wretched though I may be, I may have stolen a drink of wine or killed a child unborn, that is that Guru, or slain a woman or a cow. So woman also separately mentioned, or even caused a Brahmin's death. But though it all be true, nothing of this can make me feel the least uneasiness, for through the power of thy sweet name, my wretched soul may still aspire even to Brahmanhood. I become Brahman. So, wretched soul will aspire. Means my soul here is mind, antakaran. It has become very, very bad, but it will come out. Thy sweet name. Okay. Pointing to Narendra. So this faith and all that now points to Narendra. It is not talking to Narendra, but about Narendra. Pointing to Narendra, the master said, you all see this. Why? He wants to shift the talk. How intensely one can love God. And that beautiful point is coming here. Variety of people we have seen. Now people wrongly think that if you are not good in the world, you think of God. And this is totally destroyed in the case of Narendra. So see, you all see this boy, he behaves that way here. That way means keeping quiet. A naughty boy seems very gentle when with his father. But he is quite another person when he plays in the Chandni. Chandni is a terrace. So when he plays there, then he is a different man. All his original thing comes out. So in front of Thakur is sitting quiet. Narendra and people of his type belong to the class of the ever free, straight away. They are never entangled in the world. When they grow a little older, they feel the awakening of inner consciousness and go directly toward God. They come to the world only to teach others. They never care for anything of the world. They are never attached to woman and gold. And this is some secret. We'll come to that. The Vedas speak of the Homa bird. Some people unnecessarily raise the controversy. We do not find in the Vedas Homa bird. Thakur might have told from some Purana. Now, if you think Thakur might have told from some Purana, shows in Purana at least. Now, Swami Pitambarananda said, if all Vedas were available, they would fill a big library. So, what Vedas are available are very small. And Thakur has not read any Veda. Thakur has heard from good scholars. So, this controversy is unnecessary. The Veda, and let us get the principle. The Vedas speak of the Homa bird. It lives high up in the sky and there it lays its eggs. As soon as the egg is laid, it begins to fall. But it is so high up that it continues to fall for many days. As it falls, it hatches, and the chick falls. As the chick falls, its eyes open. It grows wings. As soon as its eyes open, it realizes that it is falling and will be dashed to pieces on touching the earth. Then it at once shoots up toward the mother bird, high in the sky. So Narendra is of the Homa type. Now what is all this? Praising Narendra to the utmost. And generally, if you praise a man on him directly, he becomes egoistic. But Thakur knows very well that Narendra will not fall in that trap. So he praises him openly in front of people. But Narendra does not like that praise of his, and so he leaves. At this point, Narendra left the room. Everything is very hinting. Huh? He does not want enough. What he himself does not know till now that he is like this. Kedar, Ramakrishna, M and many others remained. So Master has come to know some more people also know Ramakrishna. Kedar. Master, you see, Narendra excels in singing, playing on instruments, study and everything. The other day he had a discussion with Kedar and tore his arguments to shreds. Allah. Now, just as Naren will not be disturbed by praising him or his logic, Kedar is not going to worry about losing his logic. So he's talking in front of Kedar. Because Kedar's way is faith. So this you can understand easily. The other day he had a discussion with Kedar and tore his arguments to shreds. Allah, they're only enjoying this. To M. Because he is Western educated and LLB and all that. So, is there any book in English on reasoning? Why is this question? And where from it has come? Narendra defeated him in argument. So Narendra's tarka is helpful in his spiritual search. And you are all Western educated. So in your Western education, is there any such reasoning? That is Thakur's question. Because Western styles are different. So Indian logic, Thakur knows. And Narendra has shown that. But if the English education also provides that, then it will be useful. That is the question. Is there any book in English on reasoning? Yes, sir, there is. It is called Logic. Master, tell me what it says. He wants to know. M was a little embarrassed. He said one part of the book deals with deduction from the general to the particular. For example, all men are mortal, scholars are men, therefore scholars are mortal. Another part deals with the method of reasoning from the particular to the general, inductive logic. For example, this crow is black, that crow is black, the crows we see everywhere are black, therefore all crows are black. But there may be a fallacy in a conclusion arrived at in this way. Inductive logic, fallacy is there. For an inquiry, one may find a white crow in some country. There is another illustration. If there is rain, there is or has been a cloud. Therefore, rain comes from a cloud. Still another example. This man has 32 teeth. That man has 32 teeth. All the men we see have 32 teeth. Therefore, men have 32 teeth. English logic deals with such inductions and deductions. Sri Ramakrishna barely heard these words. While listening, he became absent-minded, so the conversation did not proceed far. You understand this? He has asked a question and he has heard. So this Western logic does not deal anything with spiritual life. So he is not interested. He wanted to know Western logic because whether it is helpful in spiritual life, as Naren says. And Master described deductive inductive logic, it never takes you to God. So Thakur became disinterested. So there is, between the lines as they say, we have to read the gospel. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.
Announcement?
No, announcement I will make tomorrow. That after tomorrow's class we will have Navratri holidays.